Welcome to the St. Francis Yacht Club here in San Francisco, California, for the premier sailing event on the West Coast. Hi, I'm Tucker Thompson, and this is the Rolex Big Boat Series. Now in its 47th year, the regatta annually attracts sailing's elite, from local champions to the sport's top stars. And preparing for an event like this begins well before the racing.
What's our boat name? Timeshare. My name is Brian Vanderspeck. We're sailing on the J125 Timeshaver, and to prepare, you got to come up early. We came up from Laguna Beach, California. Did a regatta down there a couple weeks ago. Brought the boat up. It's been going well. Did a training session yesterday, and just been mentally preparing all evening. And all the sails are loaded. We're missing a couple life jackets, so as soon as we get those going, we're gonna be out there going quick. You can start over here. You can start over here. I don't know all the crew yet.
Clancy.
Okay, here we got Clancy.
Jeff Penny, Vancouver, Canada.
Blake.
Evan.
And Dominic. Bowman. Jack. We're pretty excited to go out there, and should be a fun one. Hopefully it's breeze on.
My name is Steve Taft, and the boat is Swiftsure. One of the ways we prepare is we've all sailed together for a long, long time, and we use different regattas during the year to wind up using that as sort of a tune-up and practice to get where we are now. So the last preparation we did was the Aldo Alicio Regatta 2 weeks ago. It's a great preparation, and the best prep you can do is a race. It works out pretty good. So we're waiting for our skipper to arrive, who's coming down here now. This will be his 30th Big Boat Series. So he's done a few of these things before. He just turned 90 years old in June and just loves racing his sailboat. Pretty cool stuff.
We practice constantly, and there's always, we got one person who's assigned to do nothing more than maintain the boat, make sure everything's in top working condition, and the rest of it, we just sail together a lot. It's a great fun, it's great camaraderie. And there's other teams out there that are good, and some that we give us a good run for our money. But that's what it's all for.
Well, the boats are rigged, the gear is prepped, and the crew is ready. As we join the action on the starting line, this is IRCA, and they're off. The fleet favors the pin end, and with an incoming tide, they all head for the city front. We moved back to the starting line, this time at the pin with IRCB. All the bows spread evenly across the line. It's a good start. As with the first division, most boats continue to head left, but the tide right now is not a big factor. In fact, only one boat heading right, crossing Odysseus' back. The pin end is the place to be. That's where we find the majority of IRCC, including the brand new FAR 400, winning the pin end. And Team Premier leads the charge to the left-hand side. In the middle of the mix, two FAR 36s, Racer X and Wicked, both from Lake Tahoe. And finally, IRCD on the line, very well behaved, not too much crowd fighting for the pin, a few bows down, 2, 1. There's the gun, all clear to my eye. As the ebb increases, we see the fleet short tacking upwind along the city front. In IRCA, the biggest boat is Bill Turpin's Akela, leading the fleet downwind. All of this fleet stays out in the middle of the bay to catch what's left of the flood. We've moved to the top mark where the leader in IRCB is Swiftsure 2. Sly Kleineman and crew, a beautiful jibe set. Behind them in second, TNT set and then jibe. Bodacious, however, elected to sail on starboard for a couple of minutes, and now they finally jibe to check in with the fleet. Third place, boat for boat. For everyone else, it's an early jibe. IRCC, the lead boat is the Far 400, and they've got enough room on the rest of the fleet to two-tack it right here around the top mark. Leaving second, third, and fourth to work it out amongst themselves. The last class heading upwind is IRCD, and it's Donald Pazon's Dainu leading the division right here off of the St. Francis Yacht Club. IRCA heads back upwind, and Cityfront is still the name of the game. At the leeward gates, Bodacious and TNT are having a close battle. In fact, TNT just slipped to the inside and made a pass due to a bad grounding on Bodacious. Good news and the bad news. The good news is that spinnaker drop was beautiful. The bad news, well, you can see it. Some boats drop the spinnaker early and others make it spectacular effort on the foredeck crew. What a recovery. That kite looked like it was going to blow back out, and they just get it down in time. IRCA heads for the finish, and it is a close fight for the front. At the finish, Ashley Wolf's Mayhem flies across the line in first. With Vesper a close second. After a short break, we're back on the line with the second half of the fleet. And this is the start with the Express 37. Fleet reaching down the line, 2-1, and race number 2 is underway. Upwind, the breeze and the ebb tide have picked up. The ebb tide pushing them all towards the top of the line. The final start of the J105's Blackhawk will be the leewardmost boat. All the bows are up, and that was the gun. The fleet works their way up the middle of the course. Close action in the J120s. They've already sailed upwind and are on their run. Desdemona just crosses on starboard ahead of Mr. Magoo. Desdemona jives to leeward, while the 105s continue to pound their way upwind. It's a tight group among the Express 37s as well on their first downwind run. At the top mark for the J105s, it's Blackhawk. A beautifully sailed beat has them minutes in front of the rest of the fleet. That's impressive in a competitive one-design fleet. It's been a little over a minute now. The rest of the fleet piles in, overstood on starboard with the ebb tide here at the top mark. After the set, the fleet heads inshore downwind. Oh, whoops. One boat finds the edge and they're on port. Approaching the leeward mark with the rest of the fleet behind them, leaving it all to chance out in front as they head back upwind for the last time. Second and third have been close all day in this race. Mr. Magoo rounds just ahead of Desdemona. The Express 37s work their way upwind for the last time as well as race 2 comes to a close. With the kite up leading them all, it's expeditious. The final run is a sprint to the finish off of the St. Francis Yacht Club, and that's where we find Chance crossing the line first in the J120s. And that's another part of what makes racing in the Rolex Big Boat Series so spectacular. Finishes right off of the St. Francis Yacht Club. There is perhaps no other venue like it in the world. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the Rolex Big Boat Series. This is only day number 1. Stay with us. There's more to come tomorrow. I'm Tucker Thompson. We'll see you then.